Okay, today it's supposed to be like 110, so I got the fan running, and I'm going to keep this introductory short. I'm going to do some cleaning of some bladed calcite. As you can see, I have this specimen piece here. And we got some other ones here, just some little stuff there. This stuff over here looks a bit nicer. So, I'm going to be soaking this stuff in regular vinegar. Okay, it works. And it works. So let me put this big one, I'm going to put it inside of a plastic container. This guy, I kind of like this guy because I have it. It's got a nice big mouth on it, and it'll fit right in there. So I'm going to set that in there, set these other ones in there with it probably, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so you can see that one's set in there. It's pretty big. And I'm going to try to fit these other little pieces. The little pieces will fall behind it, so I'm not too worried about that. I can get those to fit in there. Most of this material is pretty tough, so I'm not too worried about banging it around or something. Let's see if I can get this guy to go back in here in the back here a little bit. This is a little unscripted today. Normally I'm doing scripted stuff where I already know what I'm going to do, but today I'm not doing that. So, as you can see, I'm going to try to fit this in. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to try to fill it up to about here with vinegar. I need a little headspace because this stuff's going to bubble up. So let me get the vinegar ready, because I'm going to just pour it inside of these two, cap them, leave them for the night. This one I'll do the same thing. I'll pour it up most of the way, and you'll see how fast the stuff starts to dissolve that calcium carbonate, carbonate that's on it. So I'm just making sure these guys look pretty good. And I'll be right back. Okay. I'm doing this stuff outside today, mainly because it's vinegar, and vinegar does kind of smell. I'm not too worried about any toxic odors or toxic fumes from this reaction, because it's going to be outside. I'm not too worried about it. So we're just going to fill this up until it covers the whole thing, the whole piece. So there we go, that looks pretty good. And as you can already see, it's already starting to react really well. So I'm going to do the same thing here. We're going to put in enough here to cover all the pieces. And as you see, it's already starting to react. So let me get my other jug here. This is why I brought 2 gallons out. I do a lot of this cleaning, but I've been trying to make a video for some of this stuff because it's kind of cool. You want to make sure everything is underneath. So as you see, we're already getting reactions here. Quite a bit. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're just going to get everything covered up. And hopefully this will be enough. If not, I got another jug of this stuff. The good thing about vinegar is it's a pretty safe acid to use. Okay, so that's pretty well. I may have to work a couple of these pieces a little lower. Let's get them in lower. Good thing about vinegar is I don't worry about, burning my hands with it. It's a safer alternative to a lot of things. Get that one over there. Let me get this guy down a little bit lower. Let me just get them so they're below the surface. Everything looks like it's below the surface. That looks pretty good. Okay, that looks pretty good. That one looks pretty good. See, I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to wear gloves with this stuff. It's not going to be anything major. And as you see, we got lots of reaction going on. Lots of reaction, and look at all that. And we got a little honeybee that's going to come over and visit us. But you see how much. So since this piece is so big, and I still have a little vinegar left, I'm just going to kind of top it off. There's no reason to keep a little bit. So these, you can either put them in recycle, or you can use them for water storage if you need to. Just clean them out a little bit. So yeah, I'm doing this at the house today because it's so dang hot. So I mainly just wanted to kick this thing off, and some of this stuff I don't keep in the workshop. It's easier if I do it here. And you can see all the reaction going on there. I mean, it's huge. So what's going to happen is that the calcium that's on the outside of the calcite blades is going to break up using a chemical reaction, and it's going to dissolve in the water, and then the blades will be nice and clean. Now, the bigger underlying issue with this kind of stuff that you're going to do, you don't want to leave this in here for like multiple days. I may let this sit for about, at most, a half a day to a day, because what I don't want to happen is the vinegar gets a little bit too aggressive and starts dissolving the blades. It shouldn't, but it's best to make sure. So you've got lots of reaction going on here, lots and lots and lots of reaction going on. Throughout the whole thing. So it's easier sometimes, especially with these little pieces, to just put a bunch of them in one of these little plastic containers. Look how that one is just going. And just stick them outside, cover them so nothing can get in them. You don't want nothing like, lizards or birds or animals to get inside. So I'll cover these with lids, and I'll let them do their little thing. I'll come check on them in a few hours, but they're kind of percolating pretty good here, and which means the vinegar is doing what it needs to do. And just kind of let it do its thing. And this one I think is just easier to see because it's doing it from the side. And that is such a cool reaction. So I'll go revisit this tomorrow, because we're like almost the end of the day, and I'll revisit it. And I'll let you see the other side of that one. It's just going crazy, isn't it? I think it's such a cool reaction. Now, I'm only going to do it with this. I'm not going to bleach them. I'm not going to put them in acid. I'm not going to do them in anything else besides just doing this vinegar treatment to get the blades cleaned off. I'm not going to treat them in it with anything else. So this is kind of it for these guys. And I got a whole bunch more of these to do. I got a couple 5-gallon buckets of this material to work. And the idea is, once I get done with them, they're going to look a lot nicer. And then I may list them up in the store to somebody wants them, I'll sell them. So that's it for this piece. We'll pick it up tomorrow again when we'll come back out and see what they look like. They should look a lot better. The water's going to look pretty brown because that's just how it turns. And I'm mainly doing this outside, mainly because it's vinegar. It kind of stinks. So that's it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye. Okay, so we're back to look at our bladed calcite that we started yesterday. And hand holding this stuff again, so I'm not going to be able to. So it looks like some of the pieces cleaned up pretty good. And that one. And over here, looks like some of the pieces cleaned up pretty good. I don't see any more bubbling. Got little bubbles on the top, but if it is, it's real small. Nothing over here. I don't see anything major. There still be a little bit going on, but I'm not going to worry about it. So let me, I guess we'll start with the big one. And let me take out the big pieces that are in here. It's sitting here. So it doesn't look like we got a whole lot going on in there. Maybe a little bit more going on, but nothing major. Doesn't look like anything major going on. Maybe just little stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna fish these out. As always, I'm dealing with vinegar. It doesn't bother my skin, but it may bother yours. So if you need to, wear gloves. My skin's pretty thick, so I'm not going to wear gloves on these guys anyway. It's kind of cool. Okay, so we got that one fished out. Let me fish this one out. That looks pretty good. See, I'm not expecting it to get all white because there's matrix in here, there's base rock in there. So, and some of that rock is just going to be the color it is. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. The idea is the blades look pretty good. Blades look pretty good. Blades look pretty good. There's a little piece there, nothing major there. Let's see what else we got down in here. Cleaned off a lot of that garbage on there. I think that's, oh, there's another piece in there. Okay, so that kind of cleaned out that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cherry pick a little bit because I want to see if this vinegar in the first one is still active or is it all the way used. So I had this piece from the other one. It kind of cleaned up decent. But what I want to do is set it in here and let's see if the vinegar in here is still going to do some reaction. If not, I'm going to drop a new piece in and see if that's going to kind of clean it up. So these are some of the pieces from over here. They're pretty good. I'm not seeing any reaction out of this one and this one. So it could mean either the vinegar has run its course, or there's nothing in there to work. And this one looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. See, sometimes it's easier doing them this way, this all together, and then kind of see what we got. So then what I'm going to do with these is, since I have two bunches of them, I'm going to drop some. I have some new pieces I need to clean here, like over in this one. So we got some more new pieces that have never been cleaned before. So I'm going to drop this in over into this and see what we get. And if I don't get a reaction, it means I got to go dump this vinegar and refill it. And as you see, we're getting a reaction right off the bat. See how that's just kind of chugging away right there? This new piece I put in there. So that means that vinegar still got some potency to it. So, since it has some potency still left to it, I'll drop a couple more pieces in there. So we're chugging away. Now, I mean, I could have just taken this vinegar and dumped it out, and then off we go, using some new stuff. So what I'm doing is I'm basically going through here and pulling all this stuff to one side, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab me another tote. So hold on. Okay, so grab me another tote. I'm just going to put all these little pieces in here from this one, because there's really nothing. I mean, that's got a little piece of it on it. So I'm just going to grab all these here, because this was kind of just to do the whole bunch that was in there. I knew that not everything had a blade on it. Had a calcite blade on it. So I knew that everything wasn't gonna show me anything. But what I wanted to do is just to clean it all at once, be done with it. Then I don't have to mess with it. So see, all this stuff is cleaning out my little tote here. Bunch of little pieces. Sometimes little things fall off. So there's a little blade there. Okay, so that one's kind of empty. And what I can do with this one now, since it's empty, let me find a honeybee wanting to come over here. I can put some in there, and it's also going to tell me if the vinegar is still valid. So we're just going to put all these guys back in here. These little guys are in this little tote here, because I have a couple big pieces, as you noticed in here, that I'm gonna have to do them with their own. See, these guys are kind of big, so I'll set them off to the side. Set them off to the side, and set that one off to the side. What I'm going to do is put these guys in here. Put that over there. So that stuff can sit over there. And then these guys I should be able to get them deep enough so I can work with them. Hold on. Okay, so now I got those in there. So I think those are be deep enough. It's gonna take about a gallon of vinegar. So this guy can sit there. So let me open this. It's kind of hard to do some things with one hand. There we go. So we're just gonna cover these guys in their own one. And use probably most of this gallon of vinegar. Awesome, doing this outside. And we'll have to have the house smelling all, or the workshop smelling all like vinegar. I took a full 1 gallon of vinegar in there, and as you see, that's chugging away. Don't worry about that little piece up there. Okay, so that's chugging, and we're just gonna put that lid on there, and then we're gonna. This is the stuff we got out of the big one. So now we're going to this way over here. Okay, and then we're going to go pick through here. As we see, this is doing a little bit, so I may need to add some more vinegar to that. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take these pieces out of here, kind of like what we did in the last one. Just kind of clean it up. And I like to put the ones with the bigger blades in its own little box. So I'm kind of sorting these as I'm going. See, because this kind of doesn't have anything on it. You know, so I like to just put them in the box with things I hate to say are not that exciting. And things like, oh, see? Something like this one here. That's kind of cool. So that's just a piece that's just hanging on. So we'll put that one over in the box with all the nice blades. This one's a nice little formation, so that can go over there with the blades. And what I'll do with a lot of these is I'll let them sit for a couple of days out here, just let them dry back out, and come back, take a look at them, and see what they look like after a couple of days, and then work from that point. Because some of this stuff, like this guy, is kind of cool. It's calcium. It's got calcite running inside the inside of it, so it's really kind of cool. So that may point out some things that I want to keep, and some things like these guys, they're okay. They're actually UV reactive, so they're kind of cool, but they're not going to be with the blades. I may put them in with my agate stuff that I want to go cut. So that one goes there, but then see, we got this guy here. So this guy here's got nice little ones. I like that one in the middle there. It's kind of cool. So that's why we put them in the other side. I'm not too worried about rinsing them off, because the vinegar is going to evaporate pretty quick out here. Just in today, it's supposed to be like 105 today. So that's kind of cool. Put that in with the little blades. And I leave them outside for a couple days. Kind of gets rid of that vinegar smell that's going to be on them. I'm not too worried about yeah, we'll put him in that one. We'll let him go again. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the vinegar smell. It'll just spit after a couple of days, so I'm not too worried about it. So this guy I'm going to put in there. May let him run again. Some of these may clean up a little bit better, but I'm not too worried about it at this point. This was to really just flush out some of the better blades, and let them kind of so I can pare these buckets down, because every now and then, you know, you get so much material. For that one, gotta get focused. That's kind of cool. Especially with the stuff I've collected over the last 20-30 years. You get so much material that you can't go through it all. It's impossible to go through it all in a timely manner. So you kind of do things like this, where you kind of clean a bunch of stuff up, see what's the real good stuff, the stuff that's you want to keep, stuff you don't want to keep. I mean, you know, some of these may be really good to make independents with, because of this Calcite formations that run around the outside of them. Yeah, it's that Calcite right there. It actually may be agate. I'll have to take a look at it. It may be agate. Maybe Calcite. So that may be something that I don't use to sell as specimens, but I'll use them as cutting material to make pendants out of. Okay, so that kind of emptied that guy out. So this vinegar in this one, I'm going to pour it some in here, some in here, so it can just kind of percolate on its own. That other ones are sitting in there. And so let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so we kind of topped that one off with the vinegar that was in there. I don't want to waste it at this point. This one's really not doing a whole lot, but we're going to cap it, and I'll check it tomorrow, see if we get anywhere. If not, I got another gallon we can use. One of the things that you'll notice when you do a lot of cleaning with something like this is, see, these guys are really percolating good. See, you got lots and lots of bubbles there. This is my pile of stuff I got to go through. These are the nice blades over here that I'll let dry, and I'll take a look at in a couple days. But one of the things I wanted to show you was, you see the amount of material that falls off as it sits inside of that vinegar. You have a ton of material that falls off, and this is why I do this stuff outside. You can I like throwing it on my driveway because that's out in the sun. You don't want to do this kind of stuff and clean these inside in your sink or something, because it's going to get all these little pieces of rock and sand and garbage, and you don't want to get that stuff in your sink and your pipes. So that's definitely not what you want to do. So I do definitely recommend do this stuff outside, mainly because it's, you really don't need to do it inside. Let it do it outside where it's nice and you can work with it. And then if you make a mistake, it goes on the ground. Who cares? Not a big deal. If you do it in your house, it could make a huge mess. And besides that, you don't want this stuff going in your pipes. So this stuff I'll let dry, and we'll take a look at it in probably another week. But what I'll do is I'll post this video so you guys can kind of see. But yeah, a lot of this stuff here definitely have some calcite in there. A lot of it should be UV reactive, especially pieces like this are probably highly UV reactive. So we'll let those sit, let them dry back out, take a look at them. I may run them through a really light bleach solution to see if they want to uncover anything else that may pop out. Sometimes you get some very interesting pieces when you start doing that kind of stuff. But we'll let those dry. We'll let these guys dry. These are my keepers for the blades, for little calcite blades, especially this big piece here. That one I may actually keep for myself because it's nice and big. This one over here looks really, really, really nice too. This is kind of cool. Now I can go in here with a toothbrush and some vinegar and try to clean out a little bit more, but what I like to do with a lot of these specimens is let them just sit as is, because that's kind of how they are. And I'll weigh this after it dries and figure out what else I want to do with it, because you don't want to destroy stuff by trying to make it look prettier. Sometimes it's easier just to kind of let them sit and go with what you got. Because this one, see, like this one here, this one is cool. This little piece, so I can take my toothbrush maybe and brush a little bit and see if we can get some of this stuff out over here. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm handling these with my phone, so it's a little bit easier to work with. This one up here on the top, this is where you gotta be real careful because you don't want to break it. Sometimes you can go in there with the toothbrush and just rub it real lightly to take out some of that stuff. But I'll take some pictures of these later. These are kind of my my keepers. Well, the blades I'm going to probably get rid of. This one I'm going to keep myself. It's too nice. Or I got a really nice one in here too, so I may wait and see which ones I want to keep. I mean, that one in itself is kind of cool too. So put that in my UV box. So that's it for that. Tomorrow I'll come back and check the rest of these, and I'll just tack it on to the rest of the video. If nothing happens in here, I'll dump that vinegar, and I got another gallon down here. We'll run it through there, and I'll let everything probably dry out. We may do a second run through with some fresh vinegar in a couple weeks after everything dries out, and we'll see what we got. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.